12% of your final stage offers die at reference checks. Not screening, not interviews. References. If you're a recruiter or a founder hiring right now, you know the drill. 3 days of phone tag per candidate, voicemails that never get returned, and by the time you get a call back, the candidate has taken another offer. Every AI recruiting demo automates the top of the funnel because that's where the volume is. Nobody touches the bottom, where the money actually lives. I built an n8n agent that ran 21 reference checks in 9 minutes for 44 cents. I run these workflows daily for clients. Here's the build. Let's start with the part no ATS vendor will show you on stage. When you look at where offers actually store, it's almost never at CV screening. It's at reference checks. A candidate finishes their final interview on a Tuesday. The hiring manager says yes. And then somebody, usually a recruiter or a founder who's already stretched, has to pick up the phone and chase 3 references per candidate. Voicemail. Call back next day. Missed. Email instead. No reply for 48 hours. By Friday, you still don't have the references back. And by Monday, your candidate has a competing offer from a company that moved faster. In the last cohort I looked at, this single step averaged 6.2 days per candidate and killed roughly 12% of offers outright. That is a catastrophic amount of wasted recruiter time and lost hires, and it's the one step everybody agrees is boring enough to leave manual. So let's automate it. The stack is simple. n8n as the orchestrator, Gmail for sending and receiving, Claude Haiku for parsing replies, and Telegram for delivering the final digest to the hiring manager. No new SaaS. No ATS migration. You bolt this onto what you already run. Step 1 is the trigger. When a candidate reaches final stage in your existing system, whether that's Greenhouse, Ashby, a Google Sheet, or a Trello card, you fire a webhook into n8n with the candidate's name, the role, and the 3 reference contacts they submitted. That's the input. Nothing fancy. Step 2 is the Gmail send node, but with a twist most people miss. You do not send a generic form. You send 3 individually personalized emails, 1 per reference, that mention the candidate by name, the specific role they're being considered for, and 3 targeted questions tied to that role. For an engineering hire, you ask about code review behavior, how they handle ambiguity, and 1 weakness the reference has observed. For a sales hire, you ask about pipeline discipline, deal loss patterns, and coachability. The prompt that generates these emails runs once through Haiku with the role description and produces the 3 questions as structured JSON, which n8n then merges into the email template. Cost per candidate for this step, about $0.01. Step 3 is the wait. You use n8n's wait node with a Gmail trigger on the reply to address. As references reply, and they do reply to a well-written personal email at roughly a 70% rate within 48 hours, each response gets pulled into the workflow. Step 4 is where the real work happens. Each reply goes into a Haiku call with a very specific system prompt. And this is the part I want you to steal, because it's the difference between a useful agent and a garbage summarizer. The prompt does not ask for a summary. It asks Haiku to classify every claim in the reply into one of 2 buckets: specific praise or vague praise. Specific praise sounds like, "He refactored our billing pipeline and cut latency by 40%. Vague praise sounds like, "She was great to work with and a real team player." The signal in reference checks is almost never in what people say positively. It's in the ratio of specific to vague, and it's in the hedging language. Phrases like, "for the most part, generally speaking, when he was focused," or "she had her moments," these are the tells. The prompt extracts them verbatim and flags them. It also scores overall sentiment on a simple 3-point scale and pulls any direct quote that contains a concrete concern. Output is structured JSON, sentiment score, specific to vague ratio, hedging phrases list, red flags list, and one recommended follow-up question if the ratio is off. Step 5 is the aggregation. Once all 3 references have replied for a given candidate, or 72 hours have passed with partial responses, n8n rolls the JSON up into a single decision object per candidate. If 2 or more references show hedging language, or if the specific to vague ratio is below a threshold you set, the candidate gets flagged. Otherwise, it's a green light. Step 6 is delivery, and this is where most automations lose the plot. The hiring manager does not want a 400-word summary. They want one Telegram message. Candidate name, go or no-go recommendation. And if it's a no-go or a hold, 3 quoted red flags with the reference's name attached. That's it. Thumb scrollable, decision in 15 seconds. Done. Now, the results from the last run I did on this. 21 candidates, 63 reference emails sent, the full workflow JSON, the exact haiku system prompt, and the Telegram digest template are on BizflowAI.io. Import it into your n8n, swap your Gmail credentials, point it at your ATS webhook, and you'll run your first batch tonight. If you want the whole hiring stack built and wired into your existing tools, instead of DIYing it, book a free 30-minute discovery call at BizflowAI.io and we'll scope it. And hit subscribe and ring the bell, because the next build is the offer letter agent that closes the loop after this one fires green.